Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Iqbal's Inspirations and Insights with Fahad Khan. Many of us wonder why we're not connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why we have lost the divine connection. Why is it that we pray every day, we fast every year, and we go to Hajj many times throughout our life, that we can't seem to find that spiritual connection with Allah? Iqbal answers that. He tells us, he says, रगों में वो लहू बाकी नहीं है, वो दिल वो आरज़ू बाकी नहीं है, नमाज और रोज़ा और कुर्बानी और हज, ये सब बाकी हैं, तू बाकी नहीं है. There is a reason why we have prayers in our daily lives. There's a reason why we have fasting every year. These are ways for us to connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on a regular basis. When we go throughout our day, because we're human beings, it is easy for us to disconnect from Allah, lose sight of our real purpose, become victims of our nafs, and also start following shaitan. So prayer is a reminder for us to connect back with Allah. When we go throughout our year, it is easy for us to start developing habits that will be self-destructive without us recognizing them. So the month of Ramadan comes for us to defeat our nafs, especially through sleeping less and eating less, among other things, so that we can reconnect with Allah and recognize our real purpose. And Hajj is another example of that as well. So Allama is telling us here that one of the tragedies of Muslims, unfortunately, is that we have lost that which is inside of us. He says that the same blood does not flow inside of you. That yearning that you used to have inside of you is no longer there. That heart, that desire to be with Allah is no longer beating inside of you. And all of the acts of worship that are meant to connect you back with Allah are still there, are still at your disposal for you to use. And most of you still practice them. Most of us still practice them. But unfortunately, you are not connected with your own self, and therefore you are not there anymore. So we have to ask ourselves, how can we use these forms of worship with Ramadan coming up? How can we use fasting to connect with the divine? How can we recognize what's happening inside of us? That yearning that we have lost, the heart that should be connected with Allah, how can we connect it back to Allah through fasting so that we can find ourselves again? May Allah allow us to benefit from this month and from all acts of worship. Ameen.